Elyon just recently released the long-awaited Archer class, and in this video I want to be talking about all of the things that make the Archer. Talk about its abilities, the rune attributes you want to go, how you want to build your mana tree, and the gear stats that you want on your gear. Think of this as the beginner's guide to the Archer. I will give you everything you need to know to get going with the Archer. Let's jump right into it. So first I want to talk about the main things that make the Archer the Archer. The Archer is a long range class that has the farthest range out of any other class in the game. It can see stealth enemies up to 25 meters away, and it uses a stacking passive called Wind Force arrows. It shoots 3 Wind Force arrows per stack, which charge when certain skills hit targets. Depending on the number of targets, you can gain up to 6 Wind Force arrows. Deals 50 power as nature damage and decreases 10% energy of hit enemies. These can be augmented based on the abilities you can do. Its real power is being able to move around very quickly and clear very large packs of mobs very fast using its AoE abilities. Using those Wind Force arrows that we talked about, you're able to put out extra damage to everything that you're pulling. So think of Archer as a gunner that is very good at PvE. So let's talk about the tab ability real quick. And basically what this does is it charges all your Wind Force arrows at one time. So whenever you see your stacks going down, you can hit your tab ability to be able to gain all of your Wind Force arrows back at one time and then be able to continue to use your abilities that scale off of those Wind Force arrows. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about some of the main abilities that you'll be using while playing the Archer. The main bread and butter of the Archer is kind of broken down between 2 main abilities. Your main damaging ability will be Rapid Fire. Now you don't unlock this until later in the game. So until that point, you really want to just be using multi-shot to be able to clear packs of mobs. But once you get into the higher levels, Rapid Fire is going to be your main source of damage. Specifically, Fatal Rapid Fire. Rapidly shoots 9 piercing arrows in a row. Now that piercing is important because what it does is it goes through enemies. So you're able to pull big packs of mobs, use Rapid Fire to be able to hit multiple enemies at the same time. It also has an effect that activates upon critical hit. It increases the damage by 1% for 10 stacks, so it can go all the way up to 10% on the enemy. And it also has a 20% chance to charge 1 Wind Force arrow stack when the skill hits. So as you're using this, you're also able to regain Wind Force arrows. Fatal Rapid Fire increases the critical hit power of Rapid Fire by 50% and ends the attack with 3 additional shots of arrows. So now you're putting out 11 arrows. The additional shots have a critical hit rate increased by 100%. Technically what this is doing, you're basically critting nonstop and applying the debilitated effect. That is why this is a very good ability and what you're going to be using to do the majority of your damage on the Archer. Now, if you saw as I was clearing those mobs, I was using an ability called Gale Dash. Gale Dash is what I was using to slide around and hit the enemies with a big AoE. What does Gale Dash does? Slides you in the direction you enter, then shoots 3 arrows. It shoots the Wind Force arrows that we were talking about. It also applies a buff called Gale, which increases your attack speed by 6% and movement speed by 3%. So I want to start combat with this pack. I'm going to slide into it and be able to pull the entire attack, and then I'm going to use Rapid Fire to clean them up. So really, as you're farming, you can slide around from pack to pack and pull lots of mobs. As long as you have the stamina, you're able to keep on sliding. Now, the best thing about this is that this ability actually uses less stamina than dodging itself. And particularly once you take the first rank of Gale Dash called Agile Gale Dash, it takes 3,000 stamina and also grants you evade. So you don't have to even really use your evade button because Gale Dash will be doing that for you. So if you see I hit shift, a lot more stamina than if I just hit my R button. 3,000 versus, what is that, 6,000? That is a big difference. So mainly when you're playing Archer, you never really want to hit the shift button. You just want to use your Gale Dash to be able to dodge the majority of the attacks that you're going to be dodging. The next thing that I want to talk about that you're going to probably have on the majority of your builds is called Quiver Charge. Quiver Charge adds energy to enhance an activated Wind Force arrow and need 5 Wind Source arrows to be able to activate. If I do not have all 5 stacks of my Wind Force arrows, I cannot hit my 4 button, so I can't use my quiver. But if you hit tab and then you hit 4, now you're in charging your arrows and you're able to use this ability. Now, what does this ability do? Why is this so important? So what it does is it charges 1 Wind Force arrow every 13 seconds. So you're adding Wind Force arrows, and it also enhances your Wind Force arrows, enhances the charge of Wind Force arrows to do light damage. With its max rank measured Quiver Charge, what it does is it pauses Wind Force arrow consumption during its duration for 20 seconds. As you can see, when I hit my slide button here, it's going to use my Wind Force arrows. I'm doing less damage because my Wind Force arrows are out. But if I hit my quiver, and now I'm hitting R. This does no longer uses any of my wind force arrows. So now for 20 seconds, I am at full stacks wind force, along with doing light damage, along with not running out of any wind force arrows. So all of my abilities are doing that max of 5 stacks extra damage. So it's really good to activate before you go into combat. Basically, every time it's off cooldown, you're going to want to be using it. So that way you're not using any of your wind force arrows, you're at those max stacks, so you're doing more damage, and light damage is very strong. The next major ability that you'll be using a lot will be Hurricane Leap. This is your shock removal ability. So when you're stunned, you're able to use this to be able to get out. It also increases your agility, increases your attack speed, also gives you energy back, and it's a movement ability. So you're going to have an extra dash. So now you can imagine with all of these movement abilities combined, you have your Gale Dash and your leap and your other ability, which I haven't talked about yet, but you also have your Splendid Leap, which are all movement. You can move around the map extremely fast. So those are the main 3 abilities I wanted to talk about, but as you can see, I'm using a few different ones. I've been using the right click on my multi-shot. This allows me to hit mobs in an AoE space rather than rapid fire, which is kind of very straight lined. Beam arrow kind of does the same thing. Splendid Leap, like we talked about, allows you to jump out and put damage down in front of you. Cyclone Wind Force arrow. This is really nice because this is a knockback. So if you have a bunch of mobs kind of crowding your space, you're able to use that to knock things back. And then Tornado, which gives you stealth and allows you to have a little bit more survivability inside of combat situations. So one thing I do want to talk about is some of the abilities like Snipe and Cyclone Wind Force arrow has the Gears of War reload mechanic. So I don't know if you saw that there. As you're charging the ability, you see that perfect spot there. If I were to let go right there, it's as if I was fully charging that ability. So keep that in mind. Some abilities have a little bit of an extra mechanic that you'll have to be aware of. Before we jump into the rest of this, I wanted to just talk about Luminus. So currently I don't have the proper Luminus for Archer. The assumption is that it's Arrow. Arrow is going to be the best Luminus for it based on it's either going to be Assault or Fate or whatever your build is. Okay, so let's talk about the mana tree. And now I'm not going to go into this full build because I don't have it fully fleshed out yet, but I will put a link down below to Ginzy's build. Ginzy is a really great Twitch streamer. He's really smart. He does a lot of gunner and archer stuff. I'll also put a link to his Twitch channel down below. So, make sure you give him credit for this. His build here, it makes a lot of sense if you're thinking about it. The main things that it's doing is it's boosting your damage, giving you energy recovery and enough stamina to be able to use your Gale Dash as much as possible. The goal of it basically is to be able to put out as much damage as possible without really running out of resources. Archer is a magic damage class. That's why Masterful Magic here is being taken. This increases your magic damage. The next really important one here is called Snipe. Increases your damage of all your projectiles. This increases versatility, is really great to have because so you have a little bit more survivability, and then vitality just as well. And then down here, your stamina recovery. This way you can get stamina back a lot faster, so you're able to use your Gale Dash a lot more. I'm not going to go over fully into this, like I said, because it's kind of self-explanatory once you start picking these imprints. But like I said, just follow the link down below. That build, Ginzy's a smart dude. I'm sure he wouldn't lead us in the wrong direction. For rune attributes, you're going to be wanting to go 33 Fate so you can grab the rune energy ability. I'm also going 3-3-2-3 on the way up for Fate. Mainly reason being you're going to get extra dodge, less crowd control effects. Basically keep your movement speed and your attack speed up and going fast. So you're basically able to move around as fast as possible. That's at least my play style. And then for Assault, you're going to be increasing your magic damage. You're going to be increasing your attack speed. You're going to be getting Judgment, which does that lightning bolt whenever a critical hit happens. And remember, Rapid Fire has that perk that does a critical hit for 100% chance. So this is always going to be firing on the end of a rapid fire. And then you have Lightning, which increases the damage of Judgment. The next two I'm not 100% certain on because I'm not there yet, but my assumption is that I would take Killer Shot because of the cleanup that you can do. The lower the target's health, the higher the power of all projectiles increases up to 1.2 times %. So it's all your projectiles, you're doing more damage the lower somebody's health, so you're able to kind of really clean them up quickly. And then for the 48, I would probably take a Cumulative Fortune just because it scales off your attack speed, and as an archer you're going to have a lot of attack speed. Next, quickly, I just want to go over the random effects that you're going to want to have on your gear. They're posted here on screen. Mainly you're looking for crit power, stamina, energy recovery, magic power, and max attack. I'll put this in the description as well, so you'll be able to reference this as you want. Now, as far as breakthrough goes, I'm personally going to be probably going for the breakthrough pants, chest, and offhand. Reason being, the pants give you a shock break, the chest gives you that damage negation, and the offhand gives you all that extra damage output. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Did I forget something? Did I not know about something? Put that down below to help others. If you want to see some of this gameplay live, you want to talk to me and hang out, come over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DilboDavians, and check out my channel for more Elyon content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.